All right, here we are, Down Pat, episode 11. I think we're at 11 here. Give or take one or two. I'm not exactly sure. We actually usually confirm that beforehand. But Jake's here, newly haircut, looking like a little snack there. Ahead of the
Snack.
Browns
And
game.
Adam's newly a lawyer.
Yeah, look at that. What am I doing? I'm a
Pass the
schlub. You
bar.
you got a
Yeah.
haircut. The guy's a lawyer, and I'm just sitting here like doing nothing. But we got a quick episode today. We're gonna roll with that. It's episode number 11. So we got a quick episode today. We're gonna be going over the Browns game. Nothing much to talk about in that Panthers game. We are short on time too, so that's kind of the reason behind that. But how you guys doing today? Before we jump into it,
Doing well.
I'm doing great. Big load's been taken off my shoulders, so I feel.
Are you?
like a
Hey,
new
hey,
you-
Adam, this is a family podcast. Stop talking about loads.
Are you still? Are you sober? Did you sober up from doing a million shots yesterday?
A little bit. Probably will take a little edible later. Let my hair back. But right now,
You're a lawyer now,
yeah,
so do all the drugs.
yeah, sober as a gopher right now.
I love it. All right, guys, we got the Browns this week. I don't have the line or the total ahead, but what are our initial, initial thoughts here? I mean, we've said over and over on the show that these games coming up are literally like make or break games from here on out. Definitely through this stretch, the Patriots get one against the Chargers. They get one against you know what I mean? They get one against the Panthers. They are kind of doing what we're asking of them. And now they have another test at hand, I guess. They have the Browns. I know they have some dysfunction and some like craziness going on, I guess. But what are our thoughts there?
I mean, by far the biggest game of the year. I saw, believe it was on ESPN today. I saw something where basically if the Pats win this game, their playoff likelihood of getting the playoffs is like jumps up to like 70%. And if they lose, it drops down to like 39%. That's a huge gap in terms of the possible outcomes of this game. I think they're the better team than the Browns. I really think they are. I would feel a lot better about this game if Harris and or Stevenson was playing, and it doesn't look like either of them will. So it looks like we're getting a lot of Brandon Bolden on Sunday.
Who we love on this show. We know that.
He's coming
JJ
on
Taylor.
at some point. Yeah. So
I guess like like you said, Jake, I won't go. I think this game's getting a little overhyped, honestly. That's my take on it. I think I get both of them have the same record. I do think there's a lot of playoff implications, but I will, like you said, I think if the Patriots lose on Sunday, they very well still can make the playoffs. This isn't like
100%.
I think like people are acting like this is like a do or die, or that's just like the vibe I'm getting from listening to talk radio. I do think it's I think it's the biggest game of the year to this point. With regards to their seeding, like obviously you had Tom Brady comment with the Bucks, like that was headline. But with regards to like them getting in the playoffs, yes, like you're going against a team that is also trying to get in the playoffs, kind of similar to the Chargers. But I don't look at what they're doing this week as that much different than the Chargers game a couple weeks ago. Other than the Browns, I think we take them more seriously as an opponent.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about Myles Garrett. Like this is a game where like I need Trent Brown in. Like this is like one where I'm like I am terrified of Isaiah Wynn trying to block Myles Garrett. Like I almost like you would need Brandon Bolden to chip him on every play pretty much. So I don't know what is gonna.
Can he even like? Is he a chippable defensive player? Do you know what I mean? Like
I have
does
no
that
idea.
matter? Like
I'm worried about Mac Jones' like health in this game. Like,
well, you saw the
first
graveyard. You saw Myles Garrett's graveyard thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually worried that he could put a guy like Mac into the grave.
That was one of the like. I just think that that's so subtly cool. And I get that it's Halloween, but also I feel like he just rocks that all year round. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that was a coincidence that it was Halloween.
I do think this is a massive game, but I also think I'm not. If they lose, as long as I just want to see. I think Mac Jones the last couple of weeks we've seen him really not. I feel like he hasn't been asked to do that much. He threw 5 passes in the second half of the game on Sunday, and people are acting like people talking about how he's regressing. I'm like, what did he have to do? I looked at that game in Carolina. Very similar than the first game they won against the Jets, where I was like, Sam Darnold won us the game. Like when Mac Jones just had to just not throw a pick 6 back to you.
Did Darnold have like 2 red zone turnovers?
And he looked bad. Like so, it was like I looked at it. I was like, it's hard to even comment on the game because it's not like I don't think the Patriots played the game like they just didn't lose it, and they ended up. And we were very scared about that game because Carolina's kind of haunted them. I do think the coolest thing that we should talk about a little bit of that game is what were like the big standout picture. And it's like
I thought you were going to say how many points we thought were going to be scored.
Oh,
we all nailed it.
That's the coolest thing. I'll counter what you just said. That's the coolest thing. We just predicted
24,
the score.
24, 24. We did do that. You should be coming to this podcast to place your bets, but I'll say, like, if you're highlighting like why we won that game, it's Mac Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, and probably most of all Christian Barmore. Like this rookie class looks elite, and it's game after game. We're coming like this was kind of Ramondre Stevenson's coming out party, but we saw this in preseason. It wasn't that big of a surprise, but now it's like, wow, this draft class. We haven't had a draft class like this since what 2012. That was the Hightower Chandler Jones one. Like, yeah. So that's basically
that Barmore clip. His post game press
Oh
conference.
my God.
Is legitimately a top 5 Patriots moment of all time, and I don't care what you say.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, you have to go watch that. It's,
don't drug test that guy for cocaine because he's coked out.
don't give him a math test either.
I was saying, don't give him an IQ test.
But I guess I think great things like. Let me get back to something you said in the beginning, Adam, because you said, this game's being overhyped and Jake saying, it is like the biggest game of the year. I think that's still true, but I will say, to your point, Adam, this game would be bigger to me if they lost one of the 2 previous ones. Like the fact that they were able to whoop the Charger, I just don't know if I can use that word, but whoop the Panthers then, it brings you now to this game against Cleveland where it's like, whoa, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if they lost one of those other 2, and now we're faced with this challenge. Like, I'm not going to allow a loss here, but you tell me you go through that stretch of 3 games and you come out 2-1, I'd still be feeling like, okay, there's playoff chances here. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Adam, you said it before this stretch, right? You said 2-1 was what the target they needed to hit. So they already got that.
Right.
So to your point, a win is a cherry on top. I just think they're like, this is they have momentum now. I'd love to just see them keep on riding it. And I think a win like this, if they beat the Browns, all of a sudden, I don't know. I feel like the team's already kind of locked in, but that's when they start probably like really believing in themselves a little bit, right?
No, I think you're right. That's why this is probably still the biggest game, because it's like we are legit if we beat this, if we win now. Like now their record starts to look a little bit better. They beat arguably 3 good teams in a row. I mean, the Panthers, they have that sort of like rap that they started the season well, but they're not that good. But you know what I mean?
Panthers would be good if they actually had a somewhat decent quarterback. I actually believe that. Like
that defense is good. The defense can play.
They can play, and they got McCaffrey back.
Yeah, I will say that the Patriots, Christian McCaffrey looked relatively healthy, and the Patriots played him. That defense, our run defense, all of a sudden looks formidable, and we're about to play the #1 rushing team in the NFL. So that's something to watch. Like, will this defense hold up against your Nick Chubbs and your Kareem Hunts? Like, or is Kareem Hunt play?
I think he's still out.
He's out.
I have. All right. Well, Nick Chubb still, he's a great back. This game's at home, right? I'm blanking.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I'll say is we grew up with Tom Brady didn't lose in Foxborough. And this year and last year, all of a sudden, like, they're a great road team. So that's cool. We're really, our road record's like probably #1 in the NFL. I'm pretty sure, like, we've been the team, like, we can't finish at home. They lost against Tampa when they probably could have won that game. They lost against Dallas and they could have won that game. This would be a good win just to like show that home field advantage is a thing for this team, because it hasn't been to this point. So I know it hasn't been like cold yet. You don't have that like Foxborough lore. Not that I know if Mac Jones can play in the cold yet. That's a whole nother factor.
You want to hear?
I need to see them win a home game.
The away records here. The Patriots are 4-0 away. There's 2 other undefeated teams, the Cardinals and the Rams. So they have decent company.
Yeah, so they're a top 3 road team. That is, but they've been, what are they? So they're 2-1.
No, they're 1-4.
1-4 at home.
Only Jets count. The only Jets of the way.
Yeah, so they're 0-4 at home. They're like, that's bad. They got to win. I need to see them win a home game. So what is the spread? You have it?
I got it here. It's Patriots favored by 1.5.
Which really
45.
means, and they give 3 points to the home team. So they're really saying the Browns are a better team. Like that's what Vegas is saying. I want to see them win this game. Like, that'd be great. But like you said, I'm not going as far because like 2-3 weeks ago, whenever I said coming into the stretch, I need them to go 2-1. They've done that. So I guess that's where I stand, where I'm like, I'm not going to come on you. Like, I'm not going to come here next week if they lost. And
again, family show, my man.
All right. Well,
we'll put that behind a paywall. Once the podcast blows up, you can do whatever you want to people, Adam.
All right, I'm done. Check out my OnlyFans account at
Point. I will say I'm surprised that the Patriots are even favored at all. That's almost like now Vegas is like it doesn't compute to
This
me.
is Jake's thing. Jake does not like the hype that the New England Patriots are getting nationally.
It's fair.
Get Up. I texted you guys this on Get Up on Monday morning, whatever. They were literally talking like Ryan Clark comes on and goes, "The Pats are going to the Super Bowl." Like, whoa. Like, so no, they're getting way too much national love right now. I still think I feel like I'm a big reverse jinx kind of guy myself, so I feel like it's kind of the national media trying to reverse jinx the Pats a little bit. But yeah, I don't.
They're
you should see Jake in our
us.
fantasy football chat. Oh my God, Jake wears a reverse jinx crown in our fantasy football chat. Hope Nick Chubb has a great day today. 3 touchdowns.
No, Jake, to your point, I saw a tweet today actually that was saying how they were like, it was like one of those like something to think about. And it was like a rookie quarterback has never led their team to the Super Bowl. And they were highlighting Mac Jones because every other rookie quarterback has no chance of making the playoffs this year. So I was like, can you stop with that? Like, that's like, I do think like we're used to people saying we're done. Like we're used to Kellerman in 2014 saying or like Trent Dilfer being like, let's face it, they're not good anymore. 3 Super Bowls later, like another dynasty. Like, thank you. Like that was like the bulletin board material that they need. Now this Patriots team, all of a sudden they're talking about like all of these guys. Like people have already said Christian Barmore's a Hall of Famer. That's the vibe we're getting. Like, which I agree with. But
Richard Seymour. They're comparing to Richard Seymour. It's been
it's like
half
he's
a
played
season.
9 games and he's your 2021 inductee. So
Stevenson, the best
it's
running
weird.
back they've had since Curtis Martin. Like it's been a little bit over the top for sure. But hey, we're excited to see them back, right?
I mean, let me ask you guys this because this is funny. What would you? Because we really have had it all from national. There's national guys that like the Patriots. Very few. I'm talking like when they're rolling, right? Like back in
Colin Cowherd likes them,
right?
Yeah.
So, but what would you rather? Would you rather what we had at the beginning of this year? Because this has now been a year of 2 tails, right? Would you rather the national media? I guess they weren't even that harsh at the beginning, but let me ask you, what would you rather, the national media sort of idiotically hate on the Patriots or the national media idiotically now loving the Patriots? Like, what do you like as a Patriots fan? Because I like the adversity, like for sure.
Yeah, kind of like I kind of like rooting against ESPN personally.
Yeah, right.
The talking heads. I don't like being on their side because I don't really like a lot of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'll say this. The one thing I do like is that we're just being talked about nationally. I was worried about this. I was worried about this team after Brady being just so irrelevant that it was like last year was a good example. Like, did anybody talk about the Patriots last year other than like saying like, oh, Tom Brady beat Bill Belichick? That was the only thing. Like, that was the only side, which also wasn't really a fair fight because Tom Brady chooses where he went, and now Bill has to rebuild with bad Cam Newton. Like, that's not. It was an unfair comparison, but whatever. Not getting into that. I will say, like, I was like, all right, well, that was that year. This year, they're just going to be like, not say anything because what will there be to talk about? So the fact that we're even a story is a win. I like the adversity too, but if it's going to be pumping our tires or just not being irrelevant, like I'll take this.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like I like it's almost like I obviously like we all said we kind of like that. We've loved that adversity over the years, right? But it is kind of refreshing to be like, oh, look at that. People like the Patriots, like because it does get kind of old. You mentioned Trent Dilfer, and then I don't know what was a year later, the Cliff, like with Kellerman, like whatever. I don't even know the time frame, but it's like that's just like, oh my God, you're so annoying. But I do kind of think it's refreshing to be like, oh, now they're on board, but they picked a bad like it's like they're never right either. Like I'm sorry, but the Patriots aren't winning the Super Bowl this year.
Could you see a little balance? That's all I ask.
Yeah, right.
Like
a little journalistic integrity, maybe.
Yeah, just a little like rationality. Do you want to give a score prediction?
I think
that's exactly what I was gonna say. We got score predictions, and then we'll do our survivors pool, which it's getting ugly. But all right, score prediction. So again, the spread is Patriots favored by 1.5 points, and the total's 45 points. So I don't know if that's going to impact your guys' judgments there, but who wants to start?
I'll start.
I was gonna. Oh, go.
Yeah. I'm going.
Come on,
way
boy.
over.
Okay,
I'm going way over. Yeah,
really?
I don't know why. I feel like it's going to be a shootout, but not. So I'm going 30-27 Patriots. I'm
nice.
Homer, but that's what I'm going with.
So we're not all agreeing on the Pats score this week because I have them winning 27-20.
So all right,
you're also over though.
Oh, over, yeah. 47
See, I
points, right?
feel like I for whatever reason, I feel like the Patriots have now scored. They scored 24, obviously. Let me see if I have it. 24. What they scored 2 weeks ago against the Chargers. 27. I feel like the Patriots are, and they
But
obviously scored like
keep in mind,
50.
those are two. The last 2 weeks have been pick sixes in there.
True. So that's kind of, I'm thinking the Patriots win this one, and this is like 17-14. Like, I think that they
It's a way different vibe from me.
Ugly.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Ugly.
Could happen.
Just like a like
Ugly
everything,
game.
because you would honestly look at this and be like, oh, like, Patriots have averaged 25 points over whatever. The Browns clearly have an offense that can kick it. I just feel like we're due for like, oh well, that was a sloppy game, but I still think the Patriots will come out on top. So I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna bet that. Like, I'm not taking the under, and I don't even know if you'll force me to take the Patriots, but I just that's the vibe I'm getting.
I like it.
All right, let's jump into our survivor pool here, where Jake, you did make a bet last week. You'd get one extra win if the Packers win. They didn't. So way to go.
They should have won that game. Chiefs suck.
Jordan Love also. Jordan Love
He
made
does
me
stink.
appreciate Mac Jones all the more. That's what I took from that game. It was like,
Now, it was
that
so
guy's
funny
been
that
sitting on the bench.
everyone was
Yeah.
talking about, is this the Jordan Love like breakout game and everything? And then after the game, everyone's like, that'll never come. Like, he's
Oh my
just,
god.
all right.
I would be concerned as a Packers fan. Aaron Rodgers was probably loving it though.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers'
No,
leverage
That's
just
so
went through the
true.
roof.
Oh my god,
Nobody
so
was
true.
happier on Sunday night than Aaron Rodgers.
All right, so I'm 5-4. Jake is also 5-4. Adam's 8-1. Last week I had the boys. Adam had
You
the
have +1,
Finns.
I have -1.
That is true. Over here, pay note. We'll highlight that for the people back home. And
So I
Jake,
got some work to do.
Jake has some work to do here. We can remove
Okay.
that +1 because it didn't hit. But all right, let's jump into it. Jake, why don't you start us off?
So you had them last week, Ev.
Yeah.
I'm taking them this week. There's just no way this team loses 2 in a row, and they're definitely not losing to the Falcons, who had a win. So I'm going boys this week. Oh, I like that Adam was going to take this.
I feel like I have to take something else now.
I
Makes you
know.
feel better about it.
I think the only time we've doubled up is
The Pats?
49ers 40, and then no, we didn't even double up.
Huh?
It looks like the only time we've doubled up is that first week. So I kind of like the you can't, it just adds a little layer to this. You can't take someone ahead of it. But Adam, you can take the boys if you want. But
Wait, can you just go back? Yeah, I was definitely going to take the Cowboys. I agree with your reasoning. I think it's like a prime bounce back game. All of a sudden, people are overreacting with the Dak Prescott didn't even practice last week.
No.
It's a bad loss, but it was almost a predictable loss last week. Looking around the league here.
There's some tough matchups.
Have I wait, can now go back to the other page?
He's into the Bills. He haven't taken the Bills yet.
No,
he
I'm
took
going.
the Bills.
No, I'm not. I'm going with the steel curtain and move. We're going with the Steelers.
Can the Lions reverse what they did to me and actually win against Adam right now? That'd be great. I would love a Lions win.
I didn't want to take the Steelers in this, but
That's an ugly game.
Switch your Cowboys back to the Lions, and you guys.
I already took the Lions. I already took the Lions though.
Oh, you did.
So I'm saying that's when they got
so brutal.
blown
The fact
out.
that Jake has already taken the Lions speaks to how the Survivor pool is going.
They already got blown
Oh,
out.
it's unbelievable.
They sucked at this point. You took them 2 weeks ago.
they lost
I know, but that was the first win. They deserved that
They
win.
lost
They were playing well.
Wow. All
By
right.
40.
I am going to go with, where is it? I just had it. I am going to go with, and have I taken them yet? No, I'm going to go with the Bucks. Playing Washington.
Tommy.
Their way, but I think has everyone else taken the Bucks? No, Adam still has Bucks on the board. Jake, you have taken them though. But all right, so those are our week 10 picks. Obviously a little bit, I guess, way shorter of an episode this week, but like I said, short on time. We just previewed the game, did our Survivor. We kind of got in and out. But any last words from you guys?
In and out, huh?
This podcast is quickly turning into a behind the paywall podcast.
Go Pats. And looks like we're not going to get the OBJ revenge game that we were hoping.
Oh,
maybe.
That is the only reason really why I wanted to sign him.
I know, me too, but now it's too late. So
it would have been
know,
great drama.
There was something that just came out on Twitter just 10 minutes before we started recording of a blue check mark being like, by the way, Bill Belichick's making a late strong push. And it's like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to the Packers.
I think it's I don't know exactly where he's going, but I think it's a done deal that the Patriots seemingly are not towards the top of his list like we might have thought he was. So Bummer.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Probably might be for
Whatever.
the best. Either way, like I
Yeah.
don't think no reason to be upset about this. I feel like either way. That's my
enough.
biggest takeaway about
That's
that
a good
situation.
take. That's the best take about that.
All right. Well, we will catch you guys in episode number 12. We got the Tom Brady episode coming up. Sheesh. But all right, we'll catch you guys in the next one.